Hello everyone. So 25th October partial solar eclipse has started at 4:52 p.m. So I'd like to share some facts about eclipse. So as you all know that it occurs because moon comes in between the sun and the earth. That's and put it simply, that's the simplistic reason for eclipse. But there are some minor technicalities which we tend to miss in our school days. Like for example, so if moon comes in between sun and the earth, why doesn't eclipse occur every 14 days? Because basically moon circles around the earth every 28 days. So in between 2 days, like 14 days, there should be eclipse, because that's the part with it covers the sun. But it doesn't occur in that way because the plane at which the moon revolves around the earth is not the same as the plane at which the earth revolves around the sun. So there is a difference of 5 degrees in those two planes. So if we draw out the geometry, so there would be only two intersections of sun, moon and the earth, two nodal points. They are referred to as nodal points, and astrologers like to call it Rahu and Ketu, because that's what our Hindu mythology says that during the Samudra Manthan, Rahu tried to go in between the gods to take the Amrit Pan, and Vishnu realized it and he used his chakra to cut his head off. And but since he had already taken the Amrit, so his head and the body became immortal. So that's why he still lives, and he won his head part is called Rahu and his body part is called Ketu, and the course that correspond to the nodal points as described by astronomy. But that is more mythological part, and there are certain superstition associated with solar eclipse across the various civilization. Like in Hindu mythology, they said that we should not eat or go out during this period. Like, and they specify certain horoscopes. Like right now for Libra and Pisces, they say you should not go out because solar eclipse is taking place is Libra and Pisces. So what does it mean that solar eclipse is taking place at Libra and Pisces? So we all know that there are 12 uh, zodiac constellations. So zodiac constellation means the constellation from which the sun appears to pass throughout the period of year. So currently this is October month, so now the position of the sun is at Libra, and this eclipse is taking place today, so it's taking place at the position of Libra. So that's why they say it's bad for Libra to come out during the eclipse, but that is superstition. They also say you should not eat or do anything. And in some civilization like Mayas, they say that some insect or snake like creatures gobble up the sun, and so they do some dances in the fire to scare away the monsters. And similar is the case of in some parts of China, they believe dragon eats the sun. Like in Hindu, Rahu eats the sun. Rahu is the demon. So currently it's halfway through. It is going to be maximum at 5:23, and currently the time is 5:01. I hope that I would be able to get a slight piece getting. I can, like, from my X-ray I can see from the right side of this view it is getting blocked, but right now in the camera it's not visible at the camera. And some more fact related to eclipse is that similar to moon, planet Venus also, at some point in time lies between the sun and the earth. And you know that the plane of planet Venus revolving around the sun is about 2.5 degrees different to that of earth. So again there will be two nodal points. However, that nodal points would come only after 108 years. And so every 108 years we'll be able to see the transit of Venus, and it was the transit of Venus that was used to calculate the distance between the earth and the sun. that it was around 1800s. During that time, scientists from different parts will go to different parts of uh, areas and then use those transit time to exactly calculate the distance of sun and the earth using the Kepler's formula. Like you all know the Kepler's formula, t square is proportional to r cube. That formula was known, and we also knew that the one astronomical unit was considered the distance between earth and the sun, and distance between the Venus and the sun was considered 0.7. So using all those formulas, they were able to calculate the distance between the earth and the sun, and that was the period of enlightenment. Like, it was the time in which Edison were making experiment, Tesla was doing certain experiments. So it was really the period of enlightenment for science, like distance, development in every field, in astronomy, in new inventions and scientific discoveries. If I will see using my another, it's not getting visible in camera, but I can see little about 2% is getting engulfed from the right part of this view, but it's not coming in the camera. I don't know why. Maybe if I zoom a little. Yeah, from right, if you see, slightly it's getting cut off. Too much brightness, my camera is not able to contemplate what is happening, but my eyes can. It's absolutely sorry about that. There is one more interesting story related to Guru Nanak. During one of the festival at Kurukshetra during 1500s, it was the time of eclipse, and people said that we should not eat anything. So Guru Nanak came to the festival and he started to cook the deer's meat, and many people threatened that you are eating during the time of eclipse, we are gonna kill you. You are not supposed to kill or eat anything during the eclipse. And the Guru Nanak, in counter to that statement, he said, so you are threatening to kill me during the eclipse, and isn't that contrary to your belief? You're saying that I should not kill or eat animals during eclipse, and you are threatening to kill me. How stupid is that? And people realize the strength in that argument, and now you can see part getting cut off. Yes, now it's slightly visible. So from that he also wrote a poem, how people believe in superstition. And like this is pure superstition. Like they say you should not eat because the food gets stale, and the logic behind what they say behind the logic of food getting stale is that they confuse this solar eclipse with lunar phases. Like we have lunar phases every month. So what they think is that since it takes 1 month for lunar phase to occur, and eclipse occurs within a period of minutes, like 20 minutes is the time for this eclipse, like say 30 minutes. So during that 30 minutes the whole month is passing. That's what they believe. So the food will get stale during a month, so you should not eat that. So that's the logic behind that, but that is very illogical logic. That's why it's superstition. The only thing that you should not do during the eclipse is directly look at the sun, and which applies even during normal time. You should not look at the sun directly because it will harm your eyes, your retina. If you constantly look at the sun, you will have solar radiation induced retinopathy, and which applies to all the time, but they do not say that, they do not say during the normal time, because people will not normally look at the sun. Okay, they only look at the sun during the eclipse. So in during that time, well, they may be concentrating due to the interest, well, they may damage their eye. That's why they say use super you should use some solar protective glasses, but I don't have any solar protective glasses right now. So I'm using a cut out part of x-ray. Like if you have seen the x-ray film, there are some dark parts in the x-ray film, so that works not perfectly but quite well for observation. Although you should not, it may damage my eye if I do it for a long time. See, part is getting cut off, you can see. So that's the thing, we should not look at the sun directly. And for my camera, this is a mobile phone, so I got a part of x-ray and paste it over the camera so that it also doesn't damage my camera sensors. And we are halfway through, I guess, because 5:25 is the end and it's currently 5:08. Not exactly halfway, but so now we can see that it's quite interesting how a simple phenomenon of moon blocking the sun can be so amazing and dangerous. And it was, people could calculate when eclipse would occur, because even though astronomy was not that much developed during that time, but astrology was. And astrology basically run around making predictions. And during that time, the monarchs believed that solar eclipse signed the end of the rule of the monarchs. Because people tend to believe that kings were selected by the gods, and now since sun is getting eaten, so gods are angry. Now the kings will get thrown away. So that's why kings will put special pressure on the astrologers, so that they could correctly calculate the solar eclipse and take some good precautions. That's why all the jyotish can know the exact time of solar eclipse, even though they do not completely believe in the scientific part, but the calculations are nearly as correct. You can even use the model where they consider earth as the center and sun revolving around for studying during the initial phases of astronomy. I'm sorry of little bit woggling. Now it's losing its brightness, that's why my camera is also not able to pick up the you can see. Now we are nearly halfway. We can consider it halfway through, because it's not total eclipse, it's just partial eclipse. So if you consider the part where there is a 5-degree difference between the revolution plane of moon around the earth and earth around the sun, then you will know that eclipse will occur only once every 6 months, because the exact nodal point will only lie 2 times a year. So that makes eclipse a rare event. And also, most of the time those point may lie in the Pacific Ocean, because half of the world is Pacific Ocean, if you see in the old map. So that's why, again, so to be at the right place at the right amount of time, right point of time, is difficult. And all those basic fundamentals of umbra and penumbra cannot be exactly explained in a video. I need a geometrical diagram, and which I cannot currently make. It's losing its brightness. So if I will remove the filter, maybe we can see properly. I will try to remove the filter. Which I have put. This is what it looks like after the removal of filter. As you can see, now my vision is blurred because sun is setting.